Hi folks, Jack Nelson. Couple of things on sharpening today, and this would be for like wood tools, wood chisels, stuff like that. And the first thing to do in sharpening is make sure that your sharpening stones are in good shape. Now, an easy way to sharpen a stone that you won't see anywhere advertised is to take a 12-inch extension, a 9/16 socket, and then take your typical diamond sharpener, put the end of it in that 9/16 socket. And this is the Wolverine sharpening jig that is common. And then you would come in and you would put it underneath the stone. And then you turn on your grinder. You come up from the bottom and through the stone. So what this is going to do, when you do it by this method, it's going to do two things. It's going to give you a good smooth surface across the face of your stone, and it's also going to balance the stone itself so that it's not out around. This is going to make your sharpening much more pleasurable. So now, as an example, on this wheel right here, I would sharpen my gouges and my parting tools. So to do that, I have this marked, so I can go here. And now we're going to put this Wolverine jig in here. Start up my grinder again. And very rapidly, this is going to give me a beautiful, nice edge on my gouges. Now, it works very well on gouges, but if you want to go real fine for like skews and square nose chisels, this is not quite fine enough. So that's where the Tormac comes in. So we're going to move the camera around, and I have the Tormac mounted on the end of my Shopsmith. So we'll go around and look at that and then talk about how to sharpen the skews and the wood chisels, things like that. Okay, so here we go. Now this is a jig that I made, and I put a piece of plywood below my Tormac, and I put a rail. Okay, so I put a rail on the plywood, and then I cut a notch with an adjustable dado in the bottom of this jig. On the top of the jig, I cut a V-notch and just glued that piece of wood on the top. That will house the end of my wood chisels. Okay, so now I can put that on the rail. And I can put my chisel in here, and I can bring that on my Tormac. This is a Japanese sharpening stone that I have on my Tormac. So now I'm going to come around, and I'm going to look and see how close I am on my angle. And then I'm going to clamp that in place. I'm going to move the Tormac by hand. I'm going to wiggle this back and forth a little bit. I'm going to see. I have this blued with a magic marker. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's hitting up towards the heel on the face. And I want it full contact. So what I'm going to do is move this jig back just a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to try it again. Now you can see I have perfect contact there on the face of that tool. It took all the bluing away. So now all I've got to do is turn on my Tormac. Put it on here, wiggle it back and forth. Go to both sides, do the same thing. This is going to put a very fine edge on my tool. Usually what I do is I count to about 10 on each side, and then I start counting back, and then I'll do 5 on each side. And then I might go to 3, and then 2, and then 1. So now that is very sharp, but it would have a wire edge on it that has to be removed. So what I'm going to do now is come over here to take off the wire edge. I'm going to put it on the leather wheel, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to secure this so it won't move, and I'm going to come up here and I just want to rub the top of that, and then I'll do the same thing, maybe count to 10 on each side. And 5 and 3 and 2 and 1. And now I have a razor sharp edge here. This works very well with the nice ribbons coming off, just very slick with this edge. So that's about all I have for today. I appreciate you listening.